Are you ready to debate Richard Dawkins, Mr. Kent Hovind?
I would be thrilled to debate Richard Dawkins. I tried. I was going to England to preach years ago. I called and talked to his secretary and said, I'd like to set up a debate. How much would he charge? Pick a number. We'll raise the funds. She hung up on me. My secretary called and talked to Richard Dawkins himself, and he hung up on her. He will not debate. He'll say he'll have 10 reasons why he won't do it, but I think we all know the real reason. But anyway, yes, I'd be honored to debate him anytime. Go ahead.
Okay, well, he is here with us via his words, so we'll get right to it. Question number 1. Is it possible for an atheist to be a peaceful, loving, socially responsible, and moral person?
There's a difference between morals and ethics. What would an atheist base his morals on? Why is murder wrong? Do we create rules, morals, ethics, etc., based on majority opinion? Well, the majority of the lions think it's okay to go eat the zebra baby. And the majority of the Nazis thought it was okay to kill the Jews. I mean, I'd like to know where Richard Dawkins is going to get this moral standard. Is there an absolute any place? Is there a thus saith the Lord, or the thus saith the majority? Where is that standard? So, to answer the question, can an atheist have morals? I'd like to see how and what they're measuring it on. I asked an atheist one time, I said, how do you, he said he's an atheist. I said, well, let me ask you a question. How do you tell right from wrong? He was real quiet for a second. Finally, he said, I decide what's right and wrong. He said, I'm the God of my own universe. I said, well, good, because I'm going to shoot you in 5 minutes. He said, well, you can't do that. I said, well, sure I can. I'm the God of my own universe, and I decided it's fine for me to shoot you. Hitler decided it's fine to kill the Jews. Joseph Stalin and the communists decided it's fine to kill the Christians. Any simple look at history will tell you dictators always become their own boss and make their own rules. Where on earth would the atheists get their standards from?
Mm-hmm.
If I said, hey, brother, we're going to build a building, but nobody's allowed to have a tape measure. Y'all just make the boards as long as you want. Jimmy, you go cut some boards for this roof, and Sam, you go cut the boards for this wall. Make it long. Exactly what is long, exactly what is short. You have to have a standard that we all work from, like either the English or metric system. But once you pick one, stick with the standard. And that board's too short, get another one. Why is it too short? Well, it doesn't match the standard. So an atheist, to me, it is silly to think that they could have. You can't get 3 atheists in a room and get them to agree on everything as far as what's right and wrong. Is abortion right or wrong? Well, some will say yes. Why? Because it's not a human yet. Why is it not a human? Well, because it has gill slits like a fish. Well, that's silly and wrong and stupid. No, it's a human at the moment of conception. So to kill the baby after conception, which is what the RU-486 bill does, it's a post-conception abortion. By the way, in the military, when you want to throw something away that's trash, you 86 it. Think about that pill, RU-486.
Wow, yeah.
Are you for throwing this kid away? Yeah, let's throw this one away. Man, that's evil beyond words. But so, I've met some people who claim to be atheists that are very nice people as far as, I wouldn't mind being their neighbor or, talking to them, and I would trust them to some extent. But no, you cannot have a standard with atheism. The Christians, no, they don't live up to it, but they have a standard, thus saith the Lord. That's how you decide. So I think Richard Dawkins needs to clearly define where he's going to get this standard from. Exactly what do you mean moral? Define some of those words, please, and then we'll talk. What's his next statement?
This is how he answered it, and about being moral person, atheist being moral. Obviously, the answer is yes. That could hardly be otherwise. As for getting your morals from the Bible, I sincerely hope nobody gets their morals from it. You can find a good verse here and there, but it's lost amid events in the Old Testament and throughout the New Testament. What do you have to say about that?
Well, he didn't give any clear distinction there, just a general fuzzy answer. I think you can find not only clear scriptures in the Bible about what's right, what's wrong, but oftentimes clear examples of what happened. For instance, if a country is going to pass a law that says you have to do this, then they have to enforce that law. If you're not going to enforce it, don't pass the law. Under God's law, if you commit adultery, you're killed. You say, oh, that's awful. Well, think about the problems we have in our country because we don't do that. I'm in jail right now with a bunch of guys who don't even know who their dad was or is, or were not raised by their biological parents. And one guy, I was a cellmate with him in South Carolina. He had, I think, 19 children by 17 different women. Well, who's raising these kids? Who's teaching them anything? Who's giving them guidance and direction? Who's paying for their groceries, for heaven's sake? I mean, it takes a few minutes to have a baby. It takes years to raise them. That's evil. I'm not saying we should. I'm just pointing out, if we did execute anyone who commits adultery, that would certainly slow down the unwanted pregnancy and unwanted birth and kids being raised. How many of those kids that are raised in a home that does not have their natural biological father and mother, how many of those end up in jail or in trouble compared to the others that were raised with natural biological father and mother? I'm sure somebody's done a study on that. I think it'd be pretty obvious that a much higher percentage of those without their natural mom and dad end up in trouble. Or maybe you could do it on suicides, or do it on any number of things. Pick a topic. But yeah, God's law is perfect. Psalm 19. And so, if we just take that one issue or premarital sex in the Bible, if you have premarital sex, you're required to marry her, and you can never divorce her. You cannot get divorced. Read the law of God, and I think that one's in Exodus or Leviticus.